Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to start by thanking all of our nominees for your lifelong dedication to public service and for making yourself available today. I'm going to start with Ms. Biswal. I have long argued that in order to meet the strategic challenge of the People's Republic of China, we need to address the needs of our partners and allies around the world. As the development financing arm of the United States, the DFC plays a critical role in this effort. Nowhere is this more true than in Southeast Asia, and in particular mainland Southeast Asia, where the Belt and Road Initiative has financed billions of dollars for railroads, ports, and industrial projects. On my regular visits to the region, I repeatedly hear about a desire for more U.S. engagement and for alternatives to PRC financing for major infrastructure projects. How do you assess the initial success of the DFC in engaging in this area, and what are your priorities in ensuring that the United States is competitive with the PRC in the infrastructure space in Southeast Asia?
Senator Duckworth, thank you so much for that question. I agree wholeheartedly with you that this region is extraordinarily important and that a priority for DFC. I believe to date DFC has projects nearly $6 billion in financing in the Indo-Pacific region. If confirmed, I would look to see how we can further scale up our programs, our project financing, particularly with respect to Southeast Asia and the nations of mainland Southeast Asia. I do believe that there are many opportunities with a robust private sector to be able to address core priorities, including in energy security, in telecommunications, in building private enterprise, and I look forward to working with you, if confirmed, in understanding your priorities on these in this region as well.
Thank you. Well, following up on that, the Blue Dot Network. The Blue Dot Network is a joint project of the United States, Japan, and Australia that supports investment in high-quality infrastructure projects around the world. I think that's a great example for how our regional partners can increase our reach in the infrastructure area. It doesn't have to be all United States. I think our partners are important as well. Is there more that the DFC can do to leverage our ability to convene allies to advance our goals globally and in the Indo-Pacific specifically? And I'm looking to Japan and South Korea, for example.
Senator, I know that DFC has already created trilateral frameworks and agreements to work with Japan and Australia. They have a Quad framework through which they are working with Australia, Japan, and India in the region. And I know that there's a desire to be able to do additional programming with, for example, Taiwan. And if confirmed, I would look to see how we can further enhance our partnership and collaboration, including with South Korea, with multilateral institutions as well, and leverage the investments of partners and allies to advance financing in the region.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to return to Malaysia a little bit. I know we've talked a little bit already, but Mr. Kagan, as you well know, excuse me, economic and trade issues and climate change are major concerns for many of our Indo-Pacific partners. According to the 2023 ASEAN survey carried out by Singapore's ICE's Yusof Ishak Institute, Malaysian respondents cited the economy and climate change as their top two concerns. Moreover, 60% expressed concerns about the growing economic influence of the PRC. But at the same time, when those same respondents were asked whether the administration's premier economic initiative, the Indo-Pacific Economic Forum, the IPEF, would be beneficial to Malaysia, 60% of the respondents answered either unsure or no. Mr. Kagan, how do you assess current U.S. efforts to engage Southeast Asia and Malaysia in particular in the economic realm? What economic initiatives would you prioritize if confirmed?
Thank you very much, Senator Duckworth. And I think it's an excellent question, and it's one that is a major challenge for the administration, but one that we have put considerable effort into trying to address. I mean, one element, and we see this here with Nisha, is DFC. DFC is a very, very important tool and one that I think we can use more in the region as we expand the capacities that it has. I think another one, obviously, is the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, the IPEF, which you referred to. I totally take the point that a significant percentage of folks in Malaysia were either unaware of it or didn't think it would be positive. I think part of that is because it is very new. And I think that the effort that we're trying to do with IPEF is to address challenges that traditional trade approaches haven't always addressed. The kinds of challenges that we saw come to the fore during the pandemic, where we realized that overdependence on supply chains that run through one area have their own problems completely separate from whatever political issues are involved. And so I think that IPEF is trying to address in 4 key areas things which we think really are important to the region. And, clearly it is not yet well known enough, and I think the jury is out in Malaysia in terms of the impact. On the other hand, Malaysia was one of the partners that did sign on to Pillar 2, the supply chain pillar, which was brought to conclusion in Detroit several weeks ago, and I think that is a sign that Malaysia recognizes there's significant opportunities. So if confirmed, I would want to keep using the tools that we have, strengthened DFC, IPEF, engagement by other U.S. government agencies, EXIM, USAID, though they don't do things directly in Malaysia, but I think their efforts in the region are of value to the region and to ASEAN, of which Malaysia is a member. And I think we would want, if confirmed, to keep pushing forward in those areas so that the region better understands the value of economic engagement with the United States and understands that we are seeking an affirmative agenda on economic engagement that tries to address the region and their concerns in ways that are valuable for them.
I think your mentioning of ASEAN is really important because so many of the powerful players within ASEAN have signed on to IPEF. And I think that's a good way forward. Thank you.